Pleiadian Teachings Part 4. Do you know how many people are willing to look at the negative and the dark? Not too many. Do you know how many people are living in the dark? Do not run from the shadow of life, for there is much healing to be completed once the pain of the darker side of life is felt, realized, and understood. Emotions are the sum total of your wealth as a human being. Emotions trigger the inner pharmacopoeia, your body's personal drugstore. In the drugstore of your body, you are the pharmacist. You write the prescription according to your emotional response or reaction to events. Your emotions create a corresponding chemical release inside your physical form. The endocrine system, which is responsible for the chemical responses to your emotional choices, will evolve. New chemicals will be produced inside your body that will help you change. Choosing a different way of receiving or translating reality will trigger inner doorways to open and produce substances that will take you into the higher realms. You are being reorganized on a subatomic level. Within your body, the light-encoded filaments, fine, thread-like fibers, are subtle forms of energy that connect everything together. These gossamer threads are reorganized in your body through stimulation by rays and photons that come to the planet bringing cosmic energy. They are reorganized to rejuvenate your body when you drink pure, clean water. They are particularly activated through the process of oxygenation and deep breathing. There are also ways of oxygenating yourself by ingesting herbs known as blood purifiers. When you purify your blood, it is able to carry a greater amount of oxygen. The reorganization of fibers on a cellular level builds and grows, and the fibers invigorate your body in a variety of ways. All this involves activating your brain. You have the keys and the codes to open up the rest of that dormant area. The plan of intention is for human beings, based on the increase of light, to evolve into multivalented beings. Some people are operating on 6 to 8% of their brain capacity. Someone who is using more of their brain, and Einstein for example, is using it best 15 to 20%. Ask yourself these questions: what is the other 80% of my brain doing? Why is it dormant? What is not hooked up? The endocrine system will evolve as DNA evolves, producing chemical substances that are combinations of intelligent geometric shapes. These shapes will exist all over the body and will not be localized simply in the brain. Everything will happen simultaneously. The endocrine system can secrete psychedelic-like chemical substances that catapult you into new forms of intelligence. You have a conflict in your society about how you view drugs. Anything having to do with mind expansion has been promoted as very bad and fearful. Yet, at the same time, a good portion of the world is addicted to prescription drugs that keep people sedated. In your society, prescribed drugs that suppress the natural chemical process are fine, while drugs that activate the mind and open other realities are bad. Major control is in effect concerning your ideas about what you can and cannot take into your body. Take a look at this. Your endocrine system is going to go through a massive upheaval. It is in the early stages of this at this time. Think of a small grocery store, one that is old and decrepit and has had the same brand of food on the shelves for 20 years. The store is outdated and is not suiting modern habits, tastes, and desires. Someone comes in and says, "This supermarket's too old. I am going to soup it up to meet the needs of society. I am going to change the products that this supermarket carries." Supermarkets serve certain needs, and as the needs and tastes of human beings change, the food on the shelves of the supermarket must meet the new taste qualities and requirements. Your endocrine system is doing the same thing. What is making the endocrine system decide to serve new food? You loving yourself, pulling the pillar of light into your body and reorganizing the basic genetic structure of who you are. As the strands of DNA begin to discover their identities and come alive, they will change the endocrine system. Your decision to be in the moment, to love yourself, and to work with love on the planet with yourself and all people will completely change what happens inside you. This is a key to rejuvenation, most definitely. Be willing to experience yourself, your life, and your body as your own creations. The accelerated energy will create havoc on your planet, leading to a great deal of confusion coupled with radical, revolutionary, overnight change. Never in your recorded history has there been as much energy on the planet and has there been the kind of consciousness that there is now, so you have nothing to prepare you for what is coming, nothing. The radical change that these movements will bring about is beyond your conception. Focus on the best that you can be, knowing that you will affect many probabilities around you. Know that for yourself this will be the opportunity to activate a major change. Your pineal gland is being activated through the infusion of light energies, releasing a new vision of possibilities in which peace and freedom are felt and recognized from inside. Your thymus gland is pivotal in sending the signal to your body to hold the pattern of rejuvenation. Your thymus gland shrinks the older you get. It shrivels up. It is like the gatekeeper at the base of your neck that regulates what comes from above and what comes from below. Your upper glands, the pituitary and pineal, as cranial temples are inactivated. They are basically dormant. Your thymus gland does not continuously remind your body of its idealized blueprint because it is not getting the messages to do so from the temples in your head. This is because your temples have been disconnected from the full strands of DNA. Your thymus gland will return to its own vitality when it receives the message that your body has done its preparation and that your consciousness is ready. If you think in terms of life expansion, some of you have barely begun your work. Others have had training that is going to implode you into the next shift. Your work is a gift to the planet, a gift to civilization. If you are beating up on yourself or feeding yourself negative ideas, then you need to examine your dual loyalties. To be here in this moment says to us that you have an interest, an excitement, and a loyalty to transcend the ideas that the human species has been fed. If you are fighting this looking in the mirror and saying, "Oh, look how I look," bad news, then you have a duality, a doubt, a conflict. If you have such a conflict, then the more the energy builds, the more you will feel like a rubber band being pulled out and snapped back, over and over again. So, if you are feeling like a rubber band being snapped, then the corresponding avenue to look in would be the inconsistency of your beliefs as you are expressing them, silently or out loud. Your hypothalamus regulates the temperature and water in your body. You are water, you understand electrified water. The elements and balance of ocean water match the blood in your human body. Humans were made from the ocean. This is one of the greatest secrets of creation. The Pleiadian gods came and used the energy of the hydrogen and oxygen molecules. It is from this that you sprang. This is the basic key. Pleiadian Teachings Part 3. The essence of what everyone must manufacture is the value of self. Hey, if my body manifested sickness, it can manifest wellness as well. Whose limitation and whose decree of illness am I going to accept? You have stored within you an abundance of magnificent knowledge. You are the key to the living library, and you are what everyone is after, to some extent. It is a very interesting process that humans are involved with. Using your imagination, you can send a message to your brain and intend that the neurons connected to the area of imagination become more finely united. However, your toes have the same ability to carry the signal of imaging as your brain, because every cell in your body is composed of exactly the same substances, no matter where it is located. Each cell has the same potential to produce knowledge, and your cells are waiting for you to direct them. When you allow society, family, and education to direct your beliefs, and you let guilt and shoulds permeate your field, these are the programs to which your body responds. Your planet is going to survive its transmutation process as you recognize the power of imagination, which is tied very closely to memory. Imagination acts as a movie screen in your mind that holds images and creates blueprints of consciousness. Your body is filled with memories of different worlds, as well as different time frames from the now you perceive. As Earth evolves, you will become capable of pulling up these concepts and blueprints and finding the teachings in their purpose, as well as their significance to your now, based on what you know. Bringing memories of other times and places into your current reality unifies the significance of your life. It creates a healing by helping you understand the purpose of self-inflicted wounds. One of the most important keys we can give you is this: love yourself, honor the vehicle that you occupy, and act as if you are priceless. Act as if you lucked out and received the best thing possible, your body. Honor Earth as well with love and respect, for it is here, on Earth, that you stage your fanciful dramas. Love yourself and Earth do your ride through the universe, and your journey will be lighter. Your body is going to demonstrate absolutely miraculous abilities. Your sensitivities will develop to such a degree that smells and scents will have greater impact on your moods, emotions, and general sense of well-being. You will say, I found that when I sprinkle this herb on my food, or when I have this smell in my house, I have more energy. And when I use this one, I am quieter. Learn how to use the plants around you that are gifts from the living library. A tremendous and radical change is taking place within your physical body, and we cannot emphasize this enough. You are each guided, so to avoid burnout, listen to what's inside you. Too much new information too quickly, without your taking the time to slow down and integrate it, can lead to overload for your adjusting psyche. When you drive a car, you don't always drive it fast. You speed up, you put the brakes on, you stop at lights, you turn, you move at different paces. It is the same thing with energy. There are points of acceleration and points of slowdown. This way, the body builds slowly. Imagine you were a hairdryer and you spent a large majority of your time with your cord wrapped up in a little bag on the shelf. Then came the peak experience in your life you were plugged in and used every day. If you were the hairdryer, you would feel you were no longer alone. You would say, something has happened to my identity here. Wow! I'm on. As a human being, you are similar. You get plugged in, and suddenly something happens, so you must incorporate what happens. We liken the energy that runs through you to the electrical current that runs through the hairdryer, making it more than simply an object, making it a useful object. This is a very simple example, and it gives you an image of yourself. You can be switched on so that the current of life takes you to your purpose. It is essential that you understand your body and that you are not ashamed of what your body does. What you do with your body is another story, however. There is a grand dignity to the physical form. Be generous in your body grace. If you are uncomfortable with what we are saying, then examine how much you love yourself and where dislike and shame of your physical body comes from. There is nothing wrong with the body. The modern concept of the Barbie doll, as a perfected female form, contributes to hatred of the female body if the body does not conform to that mold. All images, from the simplest toys to the most complex computers, affect your perceptions about yourself. Often women who conform to the Barbie doll mold have to force and restrict themselves to duplicate the desired and approved shape, reducing their freedom of choice. The human body has all shapes and sizes, and all kinds of expression. You can tell that variety is important on the planet by looking at the variety of faces. If you were all meant to be molded into one kind, there would only be a limited number of faces that would be available as model types. For instance, you as a human being forgot who you were. You took on shame about your body and your body's functions. There has been little encouragement for you to acknowledge the very functions of your body. We often compare your use of your body to having a car, about which someone says, don't ever use the trunk. It is a really bad place. Don't open that trunk, don't use it, don't put anything in it. It is there, but don't touch it. Do you see the analogy? It is ridiculous. Sex in 3D can provide the energy through which you can emerge to higher consciousness. It can lead to an essential part of your multidimensional development. Sometimes, It is difficult to hear about sex because you hold on to judgment of traumatic events that you are ashamed of or that you feel bad about surrounding your sexuality. Everyone has something stored away concerning the sexual part of themselves. To a large degree, there has been a plan to influence you to feel shame about sexuality and your body. This has kept you from discovering your power, purpose, bliss, and freedom. As your body takes on and integrates the new energy, memory will be awakened in you. Cosmic memories, as well as memories of this lifetime, offer an unfolding of who you have been in galactic history. It is important for you to have room to remember. Some of you think, oh, well, I'll put some music on in the car and I'll drive someplace and practice remembering. Leave a space for memory to come into. Utilizing nature is one of the best ways to get in touch with remembering. Sitting out in nature, watching nature, being in idleness, being in the now and letting the now expand into the ongoing, spontaneous, synchronistic moment, the ever-expanding now. Nature teaches you through the calling of birds, the beat of butterfly wings, the symphony of crickets and frogs, the camel's bray, and the smell of desert dust and fresh spring rain. All of these things trigger memories if you take the time to let the sounds and smells penetrate your physical being. Activating memory involves disengaging yourself from all the shoulds you have piled up for yourself. Are you busy running nowhere? Do you truly lead the most meaningful life that you can? Do you await the approval of others, forever a shadow of the power of radiating your truth? Please, do not hide from yourself or others. Live. Why are we telling you all this? We're intending to activate cellular memory inside of you. Before you come into the body, certain memories are made available and stored genetically within you. One day you will figure out how this is done and understand that you are worked on when you sleep. Often you feel these rushes or zoomings of electrical pulsation through your body. These are memory inserts being put in you to prepare you for your next adventure. Please understand that there is little difference between a memory insert experience and an actual life experience, because reality is very constructible. Reality is not designed to be gone. Realities and cultures can be recreated over and over again. If you are a newly born soul and feel that you have missed out on all the juicy happenings in the universe, you can have memory inserts. You can create places for yourself within cultures without overpopulating them. For example, everyone wants to have been Egyptian or Maya, and there was only room for so many. Yet, you all can have memories constructed of those cultures. You can become a part of them because, with the memory constructed for you, you can build another Mayan culture on top of the other one. This concept gives you a clue about the flexibility of your reality. Memory is like a pool or a mirror inside your body, and it needs to be replenished and refreshed with the reflecting ability of water. Water is what enhances memory in the physical body. Kundalini fires the codes, activating the light-encoded filaments and bringing them into light. These tiny fibers are filled with information, and Kundalini moving through your body gives you the opportunity to own your memories. Many of you are experiencing deep memories of manipulation, perhaps painful recollections of being eaten by reptiles, or mating with reptiles, or of genetic experimentation. Even if you did not experience a specific thing, in your blood you have filaments that carry the entire history of all things. How to get those filaments to hook up to give you a viable movie is another story. You know what movie film looks like? It is made up of little squares or frames. You are like a big movie, cut and separated frame by frame, so that each part of you is disconnected from all the others. As we work with you, the energy that we bring to you reorganizes those tiny clips of film. This brings a story together inside of you that is personal, planetary, and galactic. All of you are here to look into the dark, because in the dark you will find both the light and the reason the light is returning. You cannot simply go toward the light and say, "Hey, darkness is bad. It is negative. I don't want to see." Be open to what you do not want to see. Keep your heart open, and trust that the pain you may experience needs to be explored so that it can be released after being processed on a memory level. You are at the time when memories are floating to the surface, coming from deep recesses. These memories can bring emotional responses. Whatever you see needs to be looked at. It is you. Accept it and say, aha! Based on what I know, and on the preparation of my consciousness, I can look at this and see that it was a misuse of energy. That is all right. I will transmute it. I will turn it into something of joy.